Across the country, thousands of disabled people have quietly been stripped of their voting rights. There are 7 states where needing a legal guardian because you're disabled means losing your right to vote. In fact, only 11 states affirmatively safeguard the votes of disabled people. The rest of the country is a patchwork of contradictory and often outdated state laws. In San Diego, correspondent Caroline Modarressy-Tehrani met one man who's fighting to get his vote back.
When you guys came in, David was like eyes open, wide awake, but now his eyes are closed.
How are you?
Wait a minute, here we go.
Hi. How's it going, David? Good to see you, sir.
David Rector lives with his fiancé, Roz Alexander Kasparik, in a loft in downtown San Diego. The 66-year-old produced for NPR, loves comic books, and is obsessed with politics.
David constantly evaluated not just politicians, but every candidate for everything. He constantly read, like everybody at NPR, at least 3 or 4 papers a day.
In 2009, David suffered a brain injury that left him unable to move or speak. He's still very much aware of the world around him, though he has good and bad days.
Baby, come on. Ready to eat? It's good. It's your favorite.
Roz asked the court to appoint her as David's legal guardian. What she didn't realise was that this could trigger the loss of David's right to vote.
And then the judge very sort of matter-of-factly said to the clerk, right to vote, no, and David screamed.
You know, why is the right to vote so important?
Voting wasn't just a thing that you do to David. Voting was and is what you are to David.
David now uses a computer-assisted voice to help express what he's thinking.
What do you think about people that will say, well, this is all part of an elaborate
David
voting
Rector,
reform?
want my voting rights restored immediately.
I think that's what he thinks.
Yeah, that's what he thinks.
We joined David and his supporters as they made their way to court so he could ask for his right to vote back.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Yeah, you're going to get your voting rights back.
Disability rights lawyer Tom Coleman represented the first person with autism to have their vote restored.
The problem in California is that we used to have a statute on the books for 30, 40 years that was being used by these judges to strip people of their right to vote, almost automatically. I think putting the burden on someone with a disability to prove that they can vote is not only cruel and illogical, but I believe that it violates the Americans with Disabilities Act.
The ADA says you have to provide a reasonable accommodation for people with disabilities to help them convey what they're thinking.
If somebody can express a desire to vote, they have a right to vote.
And what does that mean, express a desire to vote?
Say it, write it, show it in some way. Not everybody can speak.
His right to vote.
A new California law makes it easier for David to petition the court. Dr. Nora Baladarian from the Spectrum Institute, a disability nonprofit, explains how a judge should make a determination when appraising someone like David.
One might think, looking at David, that he doesn't think, or he can't write, or he can't conceive, or things like that. But that is such a prejudice.
David hopes the court sees things the same way. With Roz's help, he's drafted a letter stating he wants his voting rights restored.
Whatever happens today happens, and we are stronger for it no matter what. If they say no, we have tried, we have left it out on the floor. He has a left neglect. If you could somehow come to his right side. No, can't do that.
No, can't do that, sorry. Can he even lift the paper?
Slightly, but not.
David wanted to hand over his letter personally, but the counter was too high for him to reach.
Sweetheart, do you have something to give to the clerk? Here she is.
Eventually, the clerk left her desk.
Do you want to hand it to me? Thank you.
He did it.
Yeah, he did it.
Indeed. Thank you, you guys.
You're welcome. Good luck to you folks.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
David was awesome. Woo! Drop mic.
A week later, David got his right to vote back. He and Roz will both be voting this November and continue to fight for other disabled Americans to do the same.
Indeed.